Chat, sometimes being extra paranoid about your privacy and your personal life is a good thing. Because in this case, it saved this man's whole entire career, bro. Like I can't believe I watched this whole video already, but I want to get my thoughts on it. This guy came back with the craziest response to allegations I have ever heard in my life. Bro cleared up literally any question anyone had ever had about him in one 42-minute long video. This is crazy.
I'm sorry that this response took so long. I wanted to make sure I had all the facts together before saying anything. Recently, I've been accused by an ex-girlfriend, along with an ex-partner, of non-consensually filming sexual encounters, being so rough and inconsiderate during sexual encounters that it bordered on assault, encouraging eating disorders, being into age play, along with a litany of other completely baseless, false accusations.
Yeah.
The two women who are accusing me, Sacramento89, real name Rowan, and Left 4 Dead, real name Katie, took to gossip forum Kiwi Farms to post the accusations, along with carefully cherry-picked screenshots to back up their claims. These claims—
Oh wait, Kiwi Farms is a forum? I thought it was a person. I thought this whole time we were talking about like a person that she had gotten an interview with or something. I don't know who the person she was talking to is then, because I thought that person was Kiwi Farms. Apparently it isn't.
Aren't super difficult to debunk just because of the overwhelming amount of evidence I have on my side. So without further ado, let's start with Sacramento or Rowan. This is a girl I dated for about 7 months, from May of 2025 until January 10th of 2026. 4 days later, she made her first post. Here, she alleges
from when to when? Hold on.
Or Rowan. This is a girl I dated for about 7 months, from May of 2025 until January 10th of 2026. 4 days.
That's crazy. It was a 7-month relationship, and he was required, because she went out and accused him of a bunch of shit. He made a 42-minute long video debunking literally everything she said.
Later, she made her first post.
Here,
she alleges
for a
that
7-month relationship,
and like to, quote, record sexual encounters without asking for consent. This is blatantly untrue. I have never recorded any sexual encounter without explicit consent. As a matter of fact, with Rowan, she was the one who initiated the idea of filming sex acts in the first place. On Tuesday, August 19th, after 3 months of knowing each other and being sexually active, Rowan texted me saying, "You should get those Meta glasses when you crack me." I responded by saying, "For what?" And she answers again, "Cracking time."
Bro.
Alluding to me filming her with the glasses onboard camera. Now, at the time, I did not feed into this. I did not show enthusiasm. I didn't even agree to get the glasses. I just responded and said, "Good night, sweet dreams." So 1 whole week goes by without us talking about it whatsoever. And then on August 25th, Rowan texts me saying, "You should
Can
get
you
those—"
imagine getting bussed down by somebody in fucking sunglasses in bed indoors? Like, that's just so weird to think about. But anyways, that's not even part of what he's
Meta
talking
things
about.
for real. So I respond by saying, "I think I'm going to avoid filming anything involving sex for a while."
Wait, so is she racist too? Because the girl in the picture looked like she was white.
Showing that I am clearly not the person interested in filming our sexual encounters. She is. As you can see in the text, even when I say I don't want to film us having sex, she pushes the issue. Now, to be clear, we did eventually take videos of ourselves being intimate, but I was given explicit consent every single time. And on a few occasions, she even took the phone out of my hand and was holding it while filming us. To be clear, there was never a tripod or a hidden camera. It was always handheld, and in every single video, she was clearly aware of the camera, making eye contact with the camera lens. Also, on September 8th, Rowan texts me, "I do miss it though," in regards to our sexual interactions. She follows it up by saying, "Send the videos." Keep in mind, these are videos that she claims in present day were taken without her consent. She then goes on to say, and I quote, "I will watch them and keep them close to my heart," clearly indicating she has no problem whatsoever with them existing. I'm an extremely paranoid person when it comes to my personal life and my sex life.
And in this specific instance, greatest personality flaw that you could have ever had, bro. Like, you saved your entire career by being a little bit paranoid and documenting everything and keeping text messages. And holy shit, it's a great thing that this was a long distance relationship, because if this was a in-person relationship and like you live down the street from each other or something, and this crazy ass woman did this to you, you would have had no proof to prove that something that she said happened didn't happen. Like, good thing all of this happened over text. Like, even if it happened over Snapchat, you would have been screwed. You would have been screwed.
Life and my dating life. As a public figure, I just like to keep my private life private. So I was very hesitant to send Rowan any sexual videos we had taken. However, I did send her one single still image from one of the videos where my face is obscured. I guess there was some lingering thought in the back of my mind that if her accounts were not locked down super well, and if she had been hacked, then the videos could have been made public. Now, there's an implication she makes a few different times that I'm basically blackmailing her with these videos.
Somebody asked if you had any intention of getting any.
Oh wait, so this is Kiwi Farms. Maybe it is a person? I don't fucking know. I just find it funny how many people are like saying how bad he is, just going based off of this woman's testimony. Like, there's no facts, it's just her saying things and everyone's agreeing. And this guy got canceled for like weeks at this point over something that was just blatantly like completely constructed in her mind.
Sort of like law enforcement involved, but I feel like you answered this where you just want to try to compel him
shit,
to
this was January 19th.
delete whatever he has on you, and that's like the like the extent of your interest.
Yeah. And if he doesn't, I don't know. I'm kind of confused about what to do, but we'll see.
At no point anywhere did Rowan provide any proof of me threatening to release these videos of us having sex or threatening to send them anywhere. So she has no reason to believe that I would.
She didn't provide proof because it doesn't exist. Chat, subscribe.
Let's up those numbers!
Ever release them. The idea that I, a person who makes a living as a public figure, would publicly release videos of me fucking my ex-girlfriend to get back at her is so insane. Not only would that incur reputational harm beyond belief, but also serious legal consequences. The only person who has ever sent an image of us having sex to anyone is, ironically, Rowan. Days after I broke up with her, she, without my consent, sent the only image she has of us having sex to the owner of Kiwi Farms. Here, listen to.
Was that her like proof that you had sex, I guess? Like, that was apparently the only thing she verified was, oh yeah, we did have sex. Here's a picture. Okay.
Him describe it.
Oh, and one other thing,
Yo, what's up,
I forgot
Enoch?
about this, but you actually, Sacramento had sent me a picture that was like censored. Apparently the only picture that he would send you is one where his face isn't clearly visible in it, but you can,
Yes.
I can tell the desk.
Why does this guy gotta be so fucking loud? Bro is talking louder than I am.
His computer is moved onto the table, but I can still see like the monster is like on the cozy that's like on the table, like in the exact same position. So I can tell that's clearly his desk.
I guess I just find it ironic that someone who's accusing me of blackmailing her with her nudes literally sent a picture of us having sex to a man that she has never met. Now, Josh recounts seeing this image and talks about how hard it looked like I was grabbing Rowan on the mouth, essentially using it as evidence to support another claim she makes that I'm too rough during sex, which I find very interesting because after I sent Rowan this photo, she texted me saying, I like...
Oh, I see the angle here. Bro, I'm gonna have to move my camera, aren't I? Because he's gonna put all the text images onto there. Where do I move my camera to? Here, I guess?
when you cover my mouth like that.
Is that you? No, that's not me.
She texts me asking me to send her the videos, and she says, yeah, whenever you're not locked in, send the videos. It will fix me for about a week. Goon sesh. This is clear evidence that she has no problem with these videos existing. To this day, she has provided zero proof that the videos were recorded non-consensually, or that I was blackmailing her with them, or that I had any intention of sending them to anyone. Reason being, I never did any of those things. In Rowan's interview, she claims that I never asked for consent to film these sex acts, and says that she wouldn't notice I was filming until 30 seconds to 1 minute into it.
I'm not sure of an exact date, but maybe like 2 or 3 months into our relationship, he would like he never asked me. He would just pull out his phone and record, and I wouldn't notice until maybe 30 seconds in a minute or a minute into it.
Now, I obviously can't and would never show these videos to anyone, but in them,
Yeah.
it's undeniable that she is staring directly into the camera from the moment the video starts. She never once questions why I'm filming or what I'm doing, because the reality is that every single time we recorded, I had explicit permission. Ask yourself, how could she possibly have never consented to filming when she's literally holding my phone next to her face as she sucks my dick? In the
Yeah, how could she not consent when she's the one recording it? It's a good question. That's a question. It's a reference to Amazing Spider-Man 2.
interview, she says that what really concerns her is that I wouldn't send her any of the sexual videos we took.
I had asked him multiple times if he could please send me the videos so like he's not the only one who has videos of me naked, and he either ignored the question or was just like, no.
As I said earlier, I was paranoid to send these videos to anyone, even her, for fear of them leaking. Weirdly,
Yeah.
in messages at the time, she seems to actually get it, saying, I want to see them videos, goon time, before following up by saying that she actually...
Imagine in another timeline he did send the videos to her and she had ChatGPT edit them to make it look like abusive or something. Like, bro, this is insane.
understands why I'm scared to send them to her. Now we're going to fast forward to October 17th in our text, and Rowan says, do you ever go back and watch our videos? And I reply, yes, I do sometimes, actually. Rowan responds that she's thinking about that right now, and then says, quote, need that big white cock. It's also kind of strange to me that at the time she referred to them as our videos, but in the present, she's claiming she doesn't even want them to
I
exist.
find it funny how, like, completely dry Tom's texts are. Like, this is from what we've been told, this is a person he's been dating for months. And his texts are just like, yeah, me too. Yeah, I agree. No, I don't think I will. Yeah, let's meet up. Like, the most boring text messages ever. And she just does way too much in every text she sends.
On November 6th, Rowan asked me why I never ask her for nudes. I say I have a bunch of videos already, and that's why. She does not express that she has a problem with me having the videos. She doesn't complain about it. She doesn't say they were taken without her consent. In fact, throughout the entire relationship, she was sending me nude photos of herself unsolicited every single month. Why
Yeah.
would you send nude photos of yourself to someone you think could use them against you? Rowan personally posted dozens of screenshots of our texts, and not a single one shows her bringing up any of the videos being non-consensual. Another interesting fact is that during our breakup, she texted me a pros and cons list, which she apparently had written about me on January 4th of 2026. And in the cons section, she complains about a lot of things, but she doesn't mention
Follows Instagram models when I told him to stop. Doesn't leave his house is a pro. Wait, no. That's a con. Never mind. Why is there, like, no pros, but there's, like, 2 pages of cons. That's crazy.
And in the con section, she complains about a lot
Why
of
did you
things,
date
but
this
she doesn't
person
mention
then?
non-consensual videos whatsoever. With that out of the way, we can move on to Rowan's claim that I was sexually abusive towards her. In that same pros and cons list, Rowan wrote, says he likes hurting me during sex and making me bleed. This also reflects her public claims about me, but the great irony is that I never even said this. She did. On September 14th, 2025, Rowan sent me a text saying, quote, I'm such a freak. I like when it hurts and bleeds after. Something Wong. And one of her public
What in this situation, what does something Wong even mean?
facing posts about me.
Not that that's the important part, but what the fuck is that?
Post an interaction which reads as follows. She says, quote, like, we don't need to do it 3 times in one day or do it so hard I hurt and bleed. And I said, well, if you don't want to have as much sex, we don't gotta. We can do other things. And she says, okay, I like doing other things too. The way this screenshot is cropped, it comes across like I'm some, just super callous freak who's brutally jackhammering her vagina like Steve mining diamonds. But in the full uncropped screenshot, her immediate response to me after that is, I'm a freak, I say this, and as soon as I see you, I'm gonna be freaky again. I can't resist. In the interview, she elaborates on this even more, specifically claiming that she would bleed almost every time we had sex.
Okay, and you would bleed.
How do you like make these accusations against somebody and not think that all these things are gonna be followed up on? Like, she just wanted this guy canceled so bad because they broke up. So fucking bad that she's willing to do all this bullshit.
And he didn't stop.
Yeah, I would bleed
Insane
almost
women.
every time.
This
Am
is
I
just
right?
blatantly untrue as well, and it's easy to see by going through our text messages. On August 17th of 2025, the day after my birthday, Rowan and I were planning to go to Mass, and she wanted to have sex with me. So she texted me saying, Tom, I started my period. I was driving, so I couldn't say much, but I replied by saying, that sucks, I'm 40 minutes away. She follows up by asking me if I mind getting my sword bloody, and I say I'll be okay. So if it wasn't already clear, she's asking me if I'm okay with getting blood on my dick. Why would this be something she's even asking if every time we have...
Wait, why was Tom fucking texting and driving? Canceled! Canceled! You're canceled! It's over, buddy. Pack it up. You're done. You're done. Just kidding.
have sex, I'm making her bleed.
I think the other allegations are much more serious than texting and driving.
Keep in mind, this is months into us going out and being sexually active, and she's still worried that the idea of bleeding during sex would gross me out. Now, as soon as she began posting about me, people were naturally perplexed by her claim that she was bleeding from sex every single time. They asked if she had some kind of medical problem, and she says, I have no health issue that I know of, never bled during sex before, it was the aggression. Just gave into it after a while and told him I liked it, but I bled after almost every single time. I feel like most of this statement has already been dispelled, but even the smallest detail of no medical condition that I know of is also false. On September 24th of 2025, Rowan texted me saying that she's going to switch from her current birth control, Nexplanon, to the pill because she has month-long periods that cause her to bleed. So, regardless of sex, Rowan admittedly bleeds for an entire month at a time. One of Rowan's main criticisms is that I'm too rough. In fact, she describes our sexual interactions as intense, violent aggression every single time.
I genuinely did think that he would maybe change and stop being so aggressive, because he told me before that he would like kind of chill out, but he never did chill out, and it kept being the same very intense, violent aggression every single time.
She also alleges that I hit, choked, and beat her without asking, essentially painting me as an abusive partner.
Unfortunately, I did still stay with him, and I know a lot of people seem to have a lot of questions about that, and honestly, you were completely correct to question my judgment as to why I stayed with him, even though he was, you know, hitting and choking and beating me.
There's this idea she's trying to
This is the most repulsive live stream chat I have ever seen. I keep just reading it while I'm listening to this dumb bitch talking and just spouting lies. I keep reading the chat and I'm just like, who are these brain dead people in the chat that can't think like, how long have they been watching live streams for? Because it must be like they've been watching live streams since live streaming was invented or something. Because like they cannot fucking use their brains whatsoever.
That in the relationship, I was constantly
To think
pushing
maybe
rough,
this person is
violated sex
lying.
onto her, and even though she didn't like it and was being abused, she stayed with me. I've seen some people question her, saying things like, well, if you hated it, why didn't you just leave? But realistically, sometimes people do stay with abusive partners, and I don't want to invalidate their stories through my response. The real reason that she didn't leave is because she loved having sex with me, and throughout our entire relationship was constantly begging me to validate her fantasies. In this first screenshot here, she expresses that she is a real freak and says that she wants me to kidnap her, even saying, I want to be tied up, taken to the woods, and pound.
Oh, brother.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yo, what's up, French fry?
Did. So maybe there's something wrong with me. I respond by
What
saying
are
that
you
we should
saying
not
in
have
chat
sex in the
right
woods.
now?
And she says, you nervous? Right here in this next one, Rowan says,
I'm
I
here
yearn to
for
be
5
manhandled
seconds.
and
Yeah, no, that's the first thing that you hear when you come into the stream. That's crazy.
led across a dark room. That's why I like you. I reply saying, you are like a dungeon person. And she says, you are big like a caveman and I feel small next to you. In fact, anytime I wanted to have more loving, slow, I guess sensual intercourse with Rowan in the bedroom, she actually had a problem with that. I remember one specific instance where
I'm gonna get Helldivers this weekend. Hell yeah.
I was being more slow and sensual, and I remember her whispering in my ear saying, I want you to pound me. And that's probably why on June 5th, 2025, she texted me saying, I need to get face fucked for an hour. And I replied by saying, damn, exams suck. On June 7th,
Damn, exams suck. What does that even mean? Was he just trying to switch the topic, I guess? I'm assuming? Because that's uncomfortable as fuck for a woman to say to you.
she texts me and says, I'm excited
Especially if you're not in the mood for, like, sexy time.
to get fucked borderline domestic violently. At one point in the interview, she states that one time I was angry at my ex-girlfriend.
What's he yapping about? So basically, this guy named Turkey Tom got accused by multiple women about, like, being violent during, intimate time, about being a weirdo and liking to act like a child during intimate time, stuff like that. And so he made this video that's 42 minutes long, just debunking every fucking thing that any of these women have ever said with proof. So,
And that the next time
the greatest response to allegations of crimes that I have ever seen in my entire life.
we had sex,
It's a good thing that this guy was paranoid about his social life. Because if he wasn't, he would have been screwed. He would have lost his entire career.
I was particularly aggressive. This is a very strange thing to accuse me of, given that on October 13th, Rowan says verbatim, sometimes I want to fight you just so you be more angry when you fuck me. She clarifies saying, I do like that though, even without the fighting. So at every opportunity, this girl is publicly saying, oh my god, look at all this horrible shit he did to me. And then she's texting me that she wants me to kidnap her, tie her up, and pound her in the woods. And if anyone is putting up any resistance to that, it's me. She once again lies about weird little things in the interview. Like she says that I was her second boyfriend.
He was my second boyfriend.
And when I heard this, I was very confused because she told me that I was her third.
And guess who's not getting another boyfriend again after this? Nah, bro, nobody's dating you after that. After what you did to this man, nobody would be insane enough to give you another shot.
In my opinion, she said this to make herself seem less sexually.
Because nobody wants this to happen to them. Bro, this woman is just actually batshit insane. This is, like, genuinely astonishing that a person can live their life like this.
experience than she really is, to make the case stronger that I was taking
To
advantage of her.
completely
Now, in
lie
this next-
about somebody with completely baseless claims, and then to have it all disproven in one single YouTube video that's 40 minutes long.
post, she writes, "Again, I'm not alleging anything illegal.
Oh my
just that he would hit
God.
and choke because he was a super gooner. Sort of normalize it in my head, but it's definitely not okay to do that."
A
So for
super
information on
gooner.
how I supposedly normalize this behavior, let's go back to the beginning of our relationship and see what our conversations about sex were like. On
All right.
Wednesday, May 14th, after only hanging out with Rowan once, she texted me saying she's excited to hang out with me again, and she already knows my penis is massive, without me saying anything
What?
sexual to her at this point. So as you might suspect, we did have intercourse on our second date. And after this first
Yeah.
sexual encounter, Rowan texts me saying, quote, "Rape thing is so hot. I never
What?
did that before. You should tie me up next time." My response to this is,
So she says that, and he basically says, yeah, good thing it was consensual. Why the fuck would she say something like that if it's not true?
consensual sex is good. And she says, "You know what
You know what I meant by that. I don't know what to call it.
I meant by that. I don't know what to call it." So from the very first interaction we have, she
Okay, this relationship seems like she has been trying to set him up the entire time, and he's not falling for it.
calls our sex rape for some reason, saying how hot it is, to which I clarify that it was consensual, and she says, "I know what you mean." And for the record, I never indulged in her fantasy to be tied up, just not something I was interested in any way.
Yeah.
And we also never did anything in the woods, in case you're curious about that. To hammer this point home,
And
let's
to
go...
be fair, chat, as a man, if that is a woman's kink or whatever, just never do it. It's not worth it, because if they are insane and they accuse you of things because you fall out of love with them or something, you're done for. Especially if they have pictures. They can just accuse you of whatever they want, and the court of public opinion will follow them because it looks like they have more proof than you do. Like, it's so fucked up nowadays,
over some more
bro.
texts where Rowan talks about sex. On Friday, May 16th, she texts me asking when I'm free and says that she needs my, quote, "big dick." And I say, "Don't say and she says, "It is, and I need it." On May 18th,
Don't say, what? Okay.
Rowan says she's not used to being with someone with as big of a dick as mine. She says that it hurt her, but she wants to do it again, and she won't be a pussy about it. Some of her public claims about me are more desperate and weird than others. Like she complains that I didn't eat her out.
Like, he never once ate
What?
me out, but he would demand that I would constantly suck his dick. And, like, yeah.
But here is a text message of me directly telling her, "Look, I'm a selfish lover," and she says, "It's okay. I like sucking dick more than getting eaten out. I'm a real freak." Despite her acting like I am a like sexual degenerate, repeatedly doing sex acts she doesn't enjoy, here she is saying, "You match my freak," kind of. Not "you're too freaky" or "we've been too freaky." She says that I match her freak. Here in this next
Okay.
one, she says, "I'm getting on my knees as soon as I see you, by the way, freak mode." In this next one, I give a little bit of input. I tell her I'm thinking about her pussy. And she responds to me saying, "You gonna tear it up or what?" Now, my question for you in the audience would be,
Are you literally throwing a football in chat? Like, what is going on? Bro, this might be the most thirsty female I have ever heard about in my entire life.
do people who are into slow, romantic, candlelit sex describe intercourse as their pussy getting torn up? I would say probably not. Here in this next
Yeah.
one, she says she's going to leave mass early on Sunday to go get some dick. And keep in mind, I don't want to reveal any of this information. Okay.
You type like a fan fiction? That's no sport. I'm more working type shit. What the fuck?
On Sunday to go get some dick. And keep in mind, I don't want to reveal any of this information, okay?
Yeah.
I don't want to be saying this.
Yeah, to be fair, this guy was forced for his own well-being, safety, and legal reasons. Because this woman is just insane and thought it was a good idea to just accuse him of things. Just to get rid of his career, I guess. Because she was upset, as you'll find out at the end of this video, she was upset that they broke up. And she was too obsessed with this man. So.
I don't want to be here right now, and I would never intend on sexually shaming an ex-partner. But she's gone out of her way to not only shame me, but also to lie in an effort to paint me as some gooner, freak, borderline rapist. So let's keep going. Here, Rowan makes a post saying that I am a Patrick Bateman gooner because I flexed in the mirror after we had sex. But the strange part about this is that I have a text of her saying, quote,
by the way, chat, I just thought about this. This is... like, do you guys remember when Pokimane said, "Believe all victims"? She said, "Believe all victims." Basically implying, no matter what they say, it's most likely true. In a general sense, I would say that is a good thing, is to believe victims when they come out about a thing that happened to them. But you still do need to use your brain and think about things critically and maybe get the other side of the story as well. Because here's what happens. This guy, his entire life would have been fucked. No pun intended. His entire life would have been fucked by this one woman, and then the other women that dated him or know about him that decided to corroborate the claims just because they felt like they wanted to do that. The other women that also corroborated these claims were proven false as well. So, you cannot just believe every single thing that someone says happened to them. Because there are insane people that will do stuff like this in order just to get what they want. Because they no longer like someone, they will slander them to the ends of the earth just because they feel vindicated in doing so. That's my stance on this.
I keep thinking about how hot it was watching myself take your big dick in the mirror. Gooner as fuck, sorry. Reading through what she says about me publicly, it's like every accusation she makes towards me is actually some kind of confession to her own behavior. On June 25th, she texts me wondering if she can give me head after getting her wisdom teeth taken out. She obviously wouldn't be able to do that because it causes your face to swell up like a blimp.
What's the word in football when they get a point? A touchdown or a field goal? A field goal is when you kick the ball into the thing, and then a touchdown is when you get to the other end zone.
And she responds with, "No, I gotta do it as much as possible before." Here, Rowan's asking me, am I the tightest, most perfect girl you ever fucked? On July 2nd, she says, I miss that big dick so much, I'm under spells. On July 5th, I bring up us wearing condoms, and Rowan says, ew, no, and then tells me that she wants me to cream pie her, and that she's a real freak. After I say happy...
What the fuck? What is going on, bro? What is this?
Happy birthday, sweetie, for her 21st. She says that all she wants for her birthday is my big white cock. In this next one, she
Nah, he loves saying that. You know he did. You know he did. He felt so good saying that. He probably was embarrassed to have to speak that out loud, but her saying that he had a big white cock is probably the best thing that he's ever said on this channel.
For her birthday is my big white cock. In this next one, she texts me saying, I miss feeling like I'm going to break in half, not gonna lie. In this next one, she says, I like when you make me choke on it and call me a good girl. On July 23rd, she says, can I come over and suck on it Friday night? Which I don't accept. I tell her that I'm busy.
This is fucking
she then
crazy.
says, I have the big
This
white
is
cock addiction.
genuinely
Interestingly
insane.
enough, in this next one, she's asking me if I can have sex with her while holding her in the air, essentially.
We should swim together next time I wear my Gooner bikini.
And tells me that I should try to do it. Once again, a pretty bizarre thing to ask someone to do who allegedly has been abusing you for 3 months by now with overly rough sex.
What in the fuck is a Gooner bikini anyways?
On July 21st, she starts off by texting me, I hate Gooner men. And then not even 1 minute later, she says, I need that big white cock. On August 23rd, she says, whenever I wake up without my morning Tom face fuck, I am sad. On September 2nd, she expresses that she wished she lived closer to me.
What the fuck are you reading? This unhinged woman's text to this man.
But if she did, it would be an issue because she would want to come suck my dick all the time. On September 17th, she sends me an Instagram reel of someone praying the rosary. I don't respond, and she follows up by saying, I miss that dick so much. Here in this next photo, she sends me a picture of her in lingerie with the caption, when it's rape time.
Yay, demonetization. Hello, YouTube.
And after she said that, all I did was respond with a photo of the movie Just Friends. On Thursday, September 25th at 7.
Hello, yellow dollar sign. Here comes the money. Oh, wait, never mind. Just kidding.
7:30 a.m. Rowan says, I hope you come. I got something special for our rape times. I say, change that to consensual sexual encounters, and she says, I know. She expands on this particular message and says, are you mad at me? I know it's consensual. So even as we're approaching over 4 months of
How many people do you think she randomly told in real life that it was R-word time with Tom and not having consensual sex? How many people you think in real life she told that to? And how many people in real life you think have the opinion of Tom that he is an R-word-ist? Fucking insane thing to think about.
Together, she's still telling me that our sex is consensual and that she likes it. Now that I've gone through a lot of our messages, I think it's pertinent that we get into the month of October. This is the month that Rowan has publicly claimed there was one specific incident that occurred during which she asked me to stop having sex with her and I did not. To be perfectly clear, this never happened. But just to have some fun, we can go through our texts day by day in this month to see which day this horrific incident could have possibly occurred. On October 2nd, she texts me saying, you are perfect. On October 3rd and 4th, we hung out. She asked me if I got home okay, and she says that I am her formal date in her heart. She then says that she hates when anyone comments on her body, even in a positive way, and I tell her that she should eat slop and go for a walk and not worry about it, and that she is beautiful. On October 8th, she continues being sexual, complimenting my arm. She then resends me a meme that says, me if I do not have violent sex very soon. On October 8th, she also says, I miss my handsome husband. Here, I tell her I landed in Texas. She says, I miss sucking on it. She then texts me saying, you got to start putting rape time in your reminders. On October 9th, she says that she wants to hang out.
What the fuck? Where the fuck did she get that meme? That's my question, bro.
I say I arrived. On October 10th, she says, let me know when you get back safe. I always have such a fun time with you. On October 14th, she says she wishes she was waking up to me in the morning. And she then expresses sadness that I'm not moving closer to the city where she's from to live near her. She then states that her life has improved since meeting me because previously she was partying and going out, and now she spends time with me. On October 15th, she says, I started my period. I wish I could come suck on it. And that evening,
None of this makes sense. That she thought she could accuse him of all these things, and then he comes out with every single receipt. It's like bro was saving for tax season or something. Like he was putting them all in a shoebox to make sure that they're all safe and sound for whenever he needs them. Like this is his tax season, bro. She was the tax collector, and he went out here and was like, here, take all my receipts. I have all of them. They're all right here in this shoebox. Let me pull the shoebox out. Like, How did she think she was getting away with this?
She says, I would kill myself if I had to talk to any other man but you. I say, that's true, I'm a nice guy. And she says, yeah, I'm the bad guy. On October 17th, we've already read this, but this is once again where she says, do you ever go back and watch our videos? And I say, yeah, I do sometimes actually. And she responds to me that she's thinking about that right now and says, quote, need that big white cock. In the mirror, you deadass look like the Hulk compared to me. Now, one thing to note here is that at no point does she express that the videos were taken without her consent. Once again, I just want to have that hammered down here. On October 19th, she texts me saying she needs my milk right now. She then says, I miss my perfect jacked boyfriend, and that night she sends me nudes. At 10 p.m., she sends me a photo of a guy with a clock in his hand and says, I need that dick. On October 21st, I sent her a bicep photo. She responds saying, you look good, Tom. I can't wait to suck your dick. She says, I love you. You're a great boyfriend. She then says, you never officially asked me to be your girlfriend, to which I say that we did. On October 23rd, there's proof we hung out that day. She then says, text me when you get home safe, and I say, I made it. She also texted me saying, I love when my bed smells like your musk. On October 24th, she says, good night, you're the best boyfriend ever. October 25th, she sends me a photo of herself in a deer outfit and says, meow, I miss Tom's big white dick. That night, she says, I'm gonna send you ass pics tomorrow. On October 26th, we've read this one before, but here she says, next time during our epic rape time, you can tie me up.
Oh
I
my
say, you
fucking
mean
god.
consensual sex, and she follows it up by saying, you know what I mean, Tom, rough sex. Once again, these are really weird messages to be sending to someone that you now claim is sexually abusing you on a weekly basis. Now that evening, the evening of October 26th, we can see that I hang out at Rowan's house and I sleep over. Then there's a text that shows that I'm leaving and mentioned that I took my friend to the hospital. On October 27th, she says that she hopes I'm doing well. She loves me so much. On October 30th, she says that we'll be married in 2 years. October 31st at 12:30 in the morning, she texts me and says, I had a nightmare you broke up with me. Oh my god. She then says that I should cut a hole in my Batman suit for my dick. On October 31st in the afternoon, she says, oh Tom, I yearn for the big white cock. On November 1st at 1:20 a.m., she says, up? No good night? I love you? Yeah, it's fucking over. I tell her that I'm falling asleep, and she says, you was madly in love with her and not me. I'm gonna myself. I tell her, good night, I'll see you tomorrow, and I then say, do not say anything like that ever again. Now, for a little more context on this specific tomorrow, and I then say, do not say anything like that ever again.
What?
Now, for a little more context on this specific message and what she's talking about here, during our entire relationship, she was extremely insecure about the fact that before I was with her, I had lived with a girl, and she wanted me to basically show more commitment in the relationship than I was willing to show, as far as like moving physically closer to her. And at a few points she suggested that we move in together, and I said, you know, it's just too soon, we're not really ready for that. I don't think that makes sense.
Fair
after
enough.
dating for just a few months to move in together. So that's the context of this. She would constantly bring up shit and compare herself to my ex, or ex-sexual partners in general, but my ex-girlfriend, and I was like, don't say stuff like that. Like, I'm dating you right now, stop worrying about this. So later on in the night, she texts me saying, mass is needed. I am such a sweet girl and have love in my heart for you. I know this. And this carries into the morning where she says, hi, my sweet love. The next day around noon, she says, sorry for being kind of bitchy. Let me know when you're on your way. I say that I have arrived. We take a photo in our Halloween outfits. And on November 2nd, I say that I made it home. And she says that she hopes that I have a good day. So we've now made it through the entire month of October. And there's no indication of any kind of abuse, any kind of mistreatment, or even really anything negative. But almost every single day, she says something about how she loves me, how I'm perfect, how everything is good, and she keeps sending me sexual stuff the entire time without me even asking. At the risk of belaboring the point, I do want to go through a few more messages just for the hell of it, just so I can confidently show that she was extremely sexual the entire time and never expressed any reservations about the sex we were having. On Wednesday, November 5th, out of nowhere, she texts me saying, I'm trying to make you nut. I just don't respond. On December 12th, she sends me nudes again. Kind of a weird thing to send to someone who apparently has sexual blackmail on you again, is it not? On December 24th, she says that I am a sweetie pie. She's grateful for me. She wants to make me nut again, in her words, and she hopes we're married for a long time. On January 2nd, she sends me a naked photo of herself again, unprompted. And the morning of January 8th, Rowan texts me saying that before she comes to visit me, she needs to know that my dick is working. Less than 36 hours later, I broke up with her. So as you can see, the texts don't lie. Rowan was blatantly the more sexual one in the relationship.
Yeah.
I've produced evidence of this nearly every single week, and she didn't produce any because there isn't any. But apart from the idea that I filmed filmed her without her consent, and apart from the idea that I was a sexually abusive partner, she actually made some other claims as well. So another claim she made is that I encouraged her eating disorder.
Yeah, I told him very early on, like, hey, like, I've struggled with eating issues in the past, and I'm kind of still trying to gain some weight and make sure everything's okay. And he would tell me, oh, I love how skinny you are. I like how small you are, you know, like, I love how your body is, like, skinny, and, like, just say all this stuff that was incredibly hard to hear.
This is also a pretty serious claim, and if true, would undoubtedly make me a pretty fucked up guy. But it's
Yeah.
just not true.
That
Here,
would be
I directly
crazy.
discourage her eating disorder, even giving her advice on gaining weight, and I say starving yourself is very bad for you. This next
Tax season. It's tax season.
screenshot, she says she used to be thick, but she self-nuked. I say you look the same, more or less. I guess you lost some weight, but I think both are attractive. This next one, she says that she feels skinny fat. I say I don't agree, and I say that working out is good. And this next one, she
Can
says
we watch
an image that says,
Helldivers funny moments in a little bit?
nothing tastes as good as skinny feels, and I say that's a sickening image. Now,
That
for those
is
who don't
that
know,
is
this is
horrendous, bro. That's horrible.
it's like a pro anorexia slogan, I guess you would call it. Here in this
Yeah.
next screenshot, she asked me if I'd still like her if she gained weight, and I say yes. Here in this next one, I tell her explicitly she should eat more food and drink protein shakes to gain weight, and I also tell her that gaining weight would be healthy for her, as well as saying, I just want you to be healthy. Here in this next one, I tell her that I find her sexy how she is, but that it could be healthy for her to gain 5 to 10 pounds. So this is now 7 instances of me actively discouraging her eating disorder, despite her lying and saying that I was egging it on. Now, one of the other allegations that Rowan has levied towards me is that I'm into age play.
Yeah, so what I gathered from those few texts that just flashed across the screen is she has a strict type of man that she wants. Athletic, big muscles, healthy, lifts weights, isn't overweight, but like also isn't a twig. And she thinks that Tom is as strict about his type of woman as she is about her type of man. When that's just obviously not the case. He just wants her to be happy, healthy, and existing as a human being, because that's what you should want your partner to be like. You should want them to just exist happily. That's the main thing you should want in your relationship, is that you both can just exist alongside each other happily.
She's not alleging that I did it with her. She's alleging that I did it with another girl named Ellie, who I briefly talked to 2 years ago. Now, there's no proof whatsoever that I did anything close to age play, but I did text her about these allegations, and she clearly states that I've never done age play.
Oh my god. Wait, when was this?
I did text her about...
Oh, it doesn't show the date. Also, bro, his phone is on 6-7%. Anyways, I'm assuming this was recently he texted her about this, and she responded with no? That's crazy.
These allegations, and she clearly states that I've never done age play. An ex-girlfriend of mine named Kai, who I dated for 3 years, also publicly posted on Twitter saying that I never abused her and that we never did anything related to age
Bro,
play.
this
So
is
this brings the
insane.
total counter up to 5 people.
He's even getting receipts from, like, past relationships. Thank God he's still able to contact them.
Rowan, Katie, Ellie, Kai, and another random girl I banged a year ago named Maddie, who for some reason came out in the midst of all of this to post pictures of herself in my house. And
Wait. That's her wearing one of his Stop Gooning hats.
Who for some reason came out in the midst of all of this to post pictures of herself in my house. And all of these people say that I never was into this fetish with them. The closest thing I've ever engaged in when it comes to age play is that sometimes girls do call me daddy during sex.
Yeah, we're at the point in society where that's just normalized at this point. That was the wrong one.
Daddy, chill.
It's a little embarrassing given that I am me. I accept that it's something people are going to see as a little bit strange. All I can really do at this point is accept that it's something that I've done, And I think that Rowan should accept it about herself too, given that she also called me daddy during sex and over text repeatedly.
What the fuck is that emoji, bro? That looks like a dog panting.
Given that she also called me daddy during sex and over text repeatedly. In the same vein as this accusation, Rowan stated, "One more thing to add I thought was odd. Never really expressed any interest in Hello Kitty or that type of e-girl stuff, but I had like one Hello Kitty figure in my car. As a gift, Tom bought me Hello Kitty pajamas and a bunch of Hello Kitty stuff." So Rowan essentially wants you to believe that I'm pushing Hello Kitty onto her as if I have some kind of weird fascination with it. But the truth is that I am a 23-year-old man and I don't give a fuck about Hello Kitty, okay? The only reason I bought her anything Hello Kitty themed at all, which was once, by the way, was because she frequently expressed interest in it. Here she is sending
me
me
a just show us the Amazon order history?
Which was once.
Bro, that... He even showed us receipts for the fucking shit he bought on Amazon. That's crazy. He's got all the receipts in the fucking shoebox.
Interest in it. Here she is sending me a photo with a Hello Kitty figurine next to her printer. Here she is sending me a photo with a hand-drawn and colored Hello Kitty image on her wall. Yeah, she made these herself. Here, in regards to her decorating my room, she says, "No Hello Kitty?" with a frowny face, and I say, "Correct." And something interesting about these texts is that she shows that she has a poster of the movie Lolita on her wall. I wonder what the movie Lolita could possibly be about.
Yeah,
this film is about a middle-aged professor who is sexually attracted to adolescent girls he calls nymphettes. He rents a room in the house of a young widow to get closer to her 14-year-old daughter, Dolores Hayes Lowe, whom he calls Lolita. Obsessed with the girl, he eventually gains control over her after he takes her cross-country with him. Rowan even says that I should watch this
Why the fuck did they even sell posters or merchandise of that film in the first place anyways? Like, what are we doing?
To which I reply that I feel like it's a movie adult men aren't supposed to see. In this next screenshot, Rowan asks me, if I start dressing like a weird Hello Kitty e-girl, would you still fuck with me? And I replied, "No, I don't want you to do that. I find it kind of repulsive." Here, Rowan is texting me upset that she has to take down all of the Hello Kitties from her dorm room. And this next one is probably the strangest reference to Hello Kitty out of all of them. Here, she's sending me a video that says, "Get you a man that takes you to the Hello Kitty hotel." And under it, she writes, "Imagine the rape here." And I say, I will not imagine.
Bitches be crazy.
Now, with some of the more insane projections and lies out of the way, I'd like to get into some strange details that Rowan also decided to lie about for whatever reason she may have. One thing that a lot of people pointed out that's strange is that Rowan had taken a photo of us matching on Tinder before we met in person.
Yeah, I took a picture of a match because
so she knew who he was then. So it's confirmed at this point, basically, that she was just trying to ruin his relationship, or his, career.
I kind of tell there was like something weird about this guy. Like I didn't know if he was famous or whatever. And also,
yes,
I did that to other people as well on Tinder.
Just like everybody you meshed with to like gossip with, like girlfriends.
Yeah, like a couple of them. But yeah, he seemed like kind of weird. So
Who the fuck is saying, dude, that's normal? That is not normal. What are you talking about? There's a guy in the chat right there that's saying that's normal. That is not normal.
Yeah, I took pictures of our match.
She's also stated repeatedly that she's not a very online person multiple times throughout her testimony. But the wild thing about this is, Rowan had sent me a message on my YouTube connected Instagram all the way.
Bro, she's a grown adult Hello Kitty girl, alt emo girl. She is an online person. What are we talking about?
Back on February 21st of 2024, 15 months before matching me on Tinder, where she said, "You have to do a video on this crazy guy on Twitter who only has like 3,000 followers, but this man is a menace." I even confronted her about this when we first hung out because I found it very strange that she lied to my face when she first met me and said she didn't know who I was. I said, "Hey, I looked at our messages on Instagram and saw you DM me over a year ago." Rowan said, "Oops, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't want to tell you, but I watched one of your vids a while ago and thought you were cute, but I thought it would be..."
Bro, this guy was screenshotting messages for so long that his phone went from 67% to 24.
Awkward. I responded, "That's okay. I was just surprised." She
this
replied,
is
"I
so
know I probably
crazy.
look crazy." I said, "I mean, a little bit. It's okay. I just wish you told me, that's all. She answered, I didn't want to because I thought it would be weird. I'm sorry. Kinda lied about some stuff. I was like a niche internet micro celebrity on Twitter for a little bit too. I'm chronically online and didn't want to admit it, lol. I've gotten better about it. Once again, this is just another detail that it doesn't—
she's not an online person. Chat, she's not online, right?
even make sense to publicly lie about, but
this is insane, dude.
This is insane, dude.
it's just one of those things that makes me question her intentions throughout the entire relationship looking back. Publicly, she's also misrepresented the end of our relationship. In the interview, it stated that our breakup took place in December and that after that she realized how bad it was and she felt the need to contact Katie, who we're gonna get into later. This is blatantly untrue.
Wait, what? Hold on, go back.
In the interview, it stated that our breakup took place in December and that after that she realized how bad it was and she felt the need to contact Katie, who we're gonna get into later.
So she realized how bad it was after contacting another woman? Fuck! I need to add that sound effect, bro. Here we go. So, she talked to another woman about the breakup. Okay? What do you think that they talked about? I'ma just leave it at that.
Is blatantly untrue. We broke up on January 10th of this year, 2026, and she began posting about
Because I think that they might have talked about a whole lot of fucking lies.
me on January 14th, literally days later.
Hey, that's my brother's birthday.
She says the breakup was kind of mutual, an idea that is just bitterly ironic because
3
that's
viewers?
not the case. Immediately
Hell
after I
yeah.
told Rowan that I wanted to break up with her, she began threatening to post
Yo,
about
what's
me
up, babe?
online, and even began attempting to blackmail me into having sex with her again.
I don't know what you want me to say to you. I just want to move on from our relationship and have you go be in your corner. You can meet other guys and it'll be fine. I'll go meet other girls.
Bro, she's not gonna meet any other guys. Just on my lunch break at work? Hell yeah. I gotta go back to work in 4 hours.
We'll just break. We'll break up.
No, you won't, because I'm gonna make it hard for you to ever be in a relationship.
Well, looks like he's making it hard for you to ever be in a relationship. Hey, how many guys do you think are not gonna fuck with this woman after all of this? Because whatever number it ends up being,
Let's up those numbers!
Why?
Because
I made a diss track on my ex. Wait, what?
you don't deserve one.
Why?
Because you're a piece of shit.
Why?
Because
And I'm gonna assume that she said, "You're a piece of shit," after talking to the other girl. That was also probably telling her lies about this man. Wanna hear it in a little bit?
our whole relationship,
Because I'm 33 minutes into this video, and it's 42 minutes
you
long.
act like everything is all about you.
And I've been recording for an hour now,
Whole
so
time.
I gotta get this done.
Okay.
You don't give a fuck. You're just an awful guy, and I'm so sorry that your mom raised you. She seemed like a nice lady, but clearly she did something very wrong.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no.
Okay, Rowan, I just want to move on and have my life, and you'll move on and have your life. And we can be in our own corners. We don't have to do damage to each other. We don't have to cause each other any more anguish, okay?
I just want to see you again, though.
Oh, nah, bro. So she's gonna ruin, this is her admitting she's gonna ruin his life and ruin his chance with any other woman ever to ever exist, ever, for the rest of time. just because she wants to see him again. Because she likes him and he no longer likes her. It's a tale as old as time.
Oh my god, bro.
Like, do you think we'll ever be able to see each other?
No.
After the way these conversations have gone today, I really don't think so.
Why?
Because you're like,
He should have said, fuck. No. Fuck no. He should have said that. That's what he should have said. Then she probably would have went on Twitter immediately after getting off the phone with him. If she didn't do that already. I don't know. I don't know when the breakup occurred and when she went onto Twitter.
threatening to blackmail me.
I'm not. Well, if you don't come see me, then I will.
I stated blatantly that I did not want to have sex with her. I
Chat,
didn't want-
stay away from crazy women. That's the moral of the story. Stay away from crazy women, or your life will be ruined. If you even make one mistake or break up with them.
want to be with her anymore. I just wanted out of the relationship. This is something she was completely unwilling to accept, and that's why after I stopped talking to her, she proceeded to call me over 30 times and texted me 80 times with no response. She is publicly claiming to be a victim of sexual abuse while begging
She texted 80 times and called you 30 times?
me to fuck her again.
Like, you've done all this like weird shit. Like, I don't like it. Like, you're so weird. You treat me badly, especially during sex. And like over the phone, I just listed everything that he had done wrong, and he was like, well, you can leave me if you want. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna leave you. That's basically what happened.
But there was no like specific like.
No, that was a role reversal that she just said. He said, I'm gonna leave you. And she said, I don't want you to. And he said, I'm gonna do it anyways. Like, what are we talking about? You just, like, blatantly, that was a lie that you just said.
Did you guys talk at all between breaking up and then?
Tom and I?
Yeah.
I don't believe so, because I blocked him.
Even this detail is also so insane. While it is true that once she started to lose her mind, I did stop talking to her, she continued speaking at me, alternating between begging me to forgive her for breaking up with her, saying she wanted to have sex with me again, and sending me psychotic text messages filled with lies that she came up with once I dumped her. Now, with Rowan dealt with, the next person I'd like to address is Clorox Katie. Katie's a girl I had a brief sexual relationship with 2 years ago, and she began posting about me on the same day as Rowan. Now, back when we were hanging out, she flew all the way from California to Maine to hang out with me twice. In the interview, she describes her time with me as the worst experience of her life.
And then you fly back, and how did that go?
How long's
How long
left?
Horrible. That was
I'm at 35 minutes out of 42.
the worst experience of my life, I think.
And she also took to the forum to make some posts about me. Yes, Tom is extremely harsh during sex. I've been down the kink roads in my life, and how he acts is actually just evil and almost sadistic. Not even kinked up, just actually a Patrick Bateman type gooner. When asked how things between us ended, here is what she had to say.
Okay, but like as we've seen in the text messages, Coda, can you leave that? Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Go. As we've seen in the text messages, she was the one that was telling him to do all these things. And we will never know if he did do the things that she was wanting him to do in real life because all we have is text. But I'm gonna assume based on the way he acts and reacts to the insane things that she says, that he is not down to do any of the things that she wanted him to do.
I just truly thought he was a cringe who definitely was going to beat me later if I stayed around. We only had a 2-month fling, but even
Can we watch something else? I have to get this done. I'm like an hour into this. I have to finish this at this point.
And he was also just stupid. I hated conversation with him. He was just extremely weird to me and also evil as fuck during sex. Naturally,
Yo, thank you for the 5 bits. I really do appreciate it.
people asked her why she hadn't reported me to the police. And
One
her response
what?
was, I thought
5
about the police
cents.
and looked into
Thank
it,
you.
but
I
again,
appreciate
being
it.
across my own state lines and in Maine, it would have had to been filed there, and I lived on the opposite side of the country.
You know what's funny? Is that is more money than I make in ads on every stream that I do.
so it just didn't seem feasible. These claims are once again so absurd to me that the best way to dispel them is to just look through our messages together. In these two DMs, you see that Katie comes
Like, I make 500% more on YouTube than I do on Twitch every day, streaming every single day.
to visit me for the first time on January 20th and leaves on January 23rd. She comes to visit me, she says she's excited, she then goes home, and after leaving my house the first time, she immediately texted me saying, "I had so much fun, Tom. You can kidnap me
Shit's
whenever.
crazy.
I feel so alone in my bed." She then says that she has to come back. Now, days after coming the first time, she sends me nudes. Once again, this is kind of a weird thing to send to somebody that you're claiming is recording sex with you without your consent. Why would you send this person nudes? She then sends me nudes a second time, says she needs it, says so starved, so deprived, and she says that she misses me so much. I say, let's hang out in March. She says I'm down, but waiting until March will be so hard. On February 1st, Katie says that she misses me. On February 2nd, she slides up on my story and says she is counting down the days until she can see me again. She then says that she needs to see me ASAP, and she misses all the things about me. On February 4th, she says she wishes that she woke up cuddling me. On February 8th, she says she wants to have sex with me again. Once again, this is after the first time we hung out. February 18th, she says she's going to swallow me, and she then sends me naked photos of herself willingly. Keep in mind, once again, she's accusing me of recording sex with her without her consent, and then she keeps sending me naked photos of herself. She even sent me a video, by the way. She says, "I need you right meow. I need you ASAP." February 22nd.
I need you right meow. It's crazy, bro.
And February 24th, we have
I
miss
need you
and
right
Are You Home
meow.
Yet? February 28th, she slides up on my story and says, "I'm gonna suck you so good." She then says, "I need to see you now more than ever. Lots of hugs and hot sex." On March 2nd, she says, "I like you lots." And I reciprocate. She says she can't wait to see me again. She then says that she's excited to see me that coming Saturday. In the next screenshot, I say, "Your pussy's gonna be so sore." And Katie responds with, "Good thing we had to wait a while, because then I can take a beating." She then says, "I'm ready for you to throw me around." Now, when we were discussing how many days she would want to stay, she says, "As long as you want, and that we'll have so much sex and party so hard." And she then once again expresses how excited she is. On March 7th, she sends me a barrage of unsolicited sexual photos, including her with BDSM leather on her butt. On March 8th, she says all she can think about is me, and she can't wait for my dick to be down her throat. And on March 10th at 7 in the morning, which is 4 a.m. her time, she says that she is so excited to see me that she cannot sleep. Now, with the Instagram messages out of the way, we can move on to the text.
Like, this guy, this is the funny thing, is he's not even saying, like, he's not even making the statement that he's not freaked out or something. Like, he's not a weird fuck that, like, a gooner, basically. What he's explaining is that all the claims that were brought against him are lies, and everything was consensual, and there was never any moment where it wasn't.
Messages. So on March
That's what
10th,
he's
this
explaining.
is the second visit, right? Prior to getting there, she says that she is starving for me. Now, March 15th, this is when she leaves. She says I still have her toothbrush, but that I have to let her come back. Now, keep in mind, Katie, in her own words, said that this second time visiting me was the worst experience of her entire life.
How long did you say?
Horrible. That was the worst experience of my life, I think.
She basically describes being physically abused in the interview. She even says that while we were having sex, she would ask me to stop doing something, and I wouldn't. But that did not happen. You may also recall her stating that she ended things with me because I was such an insufferable person to be around. She claims that after the second trip, she began to realize she was a victim.
Yeah, and that's kind of like when things really started piecing together to me that I was like, wait, I think I am a victim right now. Like, something's not right here.
In her words, this is why she stopped talking to me. She says that she was scared of me. She says she was scared that I would beat her. Well, on March 20th, which is after the second visit, she texts me saying, "Tom, I really like spending time with you, but I'm kind of worried about if you actually like me or are just using me. Lol. I'm just BPDing, and so I'm tweaking and need reassurance. Are you just having fun with me, or do we have something?" To which I respond, "Well, I like you, and I think you're cool, and perhaps we even have something. However, I would make a bad boyfriend, so I don't really want to date anyone officially, I guess. Yeah." I was abundantly clear with my intentions with her. I did not want anything serious at that time. But apparently, this is the period she began to realize the true extent of my abuse, which is probably why after we had already hung out the second time, Katie tries to arrange a third meeting with me, saying she wishes...
So, because he didn't want to have an official relationship with her, she assumed that he was using her and that everything that he's ever done with her was now no longer consensual. Because apparently, in 2026, you can just take away consent. Like, everything could be fine, but you decide now as a woman that, oh, wait, that was against my will now. Now it's against your will? Because I'm pretty sure 5 minutes ago you told me that you wanted that. So, what are we talking about here?
That she was in Ohio, where I was at the time, and I did not reciprocate. After this proposition, she slid up on my Instagram story 12 times over the next 10 months, and I did not slide up on her story once, not a single time. So ask yourself, do these texts sound like a girl texting a guy that she finds evil and sadistic, a guy that she was even debating going to the police about? Because to me, it seems crystal clear that she enjoyed our time together and even wanted to hang out a third time. You got to keep in mind here, she flew across the entire North American continent twice, from California to Maine, to see me. After the second time, she wanted me to be her boyfriend. I didn't want to, and she then repeatedly made efforts to contact me and hang out with me again. Now, to close off the video, I think I'd like to share some interesting texts that Rowan sent me about her dear friend Katie, as they're both accusing me of...
3-minute ad?
I mean, whatever it is they're even trying to say at this point.
Sorry.
After she saw that I was following Katie on Instagram, she messaged me on December 8th saying, "Did you know Clorox Katie tried to fuck Jet Neptune? Those girls too make themselves easy targets with the hair and piercings because they have sexual trauma." She then says, "They complain about sexual assault a lot because they will fuck anything that breathes." 1 month and 2 days later, I broke up with Rowan, and in the middle of her unhinged tirade about me, she told me that she would be messaging as many girls I had been with as possible to try and find whatever dirt she could so that she could run to the internet about it. Now, I've seen a lot of people say things to the effect of, you know, Tom's a hypocrite. He gooned.
Oh, no.
And you're right. I did goon. Okay.
He did goon! He's a gooner! His hats are lies! When he said, stop gooning, and he sold us those hats that say, don't ever goon or whatever, that was a lie. We've all been lied to and deceived.
Hey, I did
so
not stop
sad,
gooning.
chat.
So maybe in the end, the hats are more relevant than ever. Anyway, that's about it. I've said everything I need to. Goodbye.
Okay, so yeah, title.
That's the end of the video. In conclusion, chat, stay away from crazy women if you don't want your life to be ruined. Because if you do engage with crazy women, and then you eventually decide you no longer want to engage with said crazy woman, they will destroy your life just because they have the privilege in today's society to do so. So, in conclusion, that's just it. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. Thank God this man did not have all these conversations on Snapchat, because as soon as the woman made allegations about him, they would have unsent all those messages. Or, even worse, the messages would have been in Snapchats that delete after you open them. So, again, in conclusion, don't interact with crazy women. Also, like and subscribe.
Let's up those numbers!
I will see y'all later.
Uh-oh.